Today on Duck and Jew, we are making a peach ginger pie. We're following Kate Lebo's recipe. It's what we use to make our crust as well. We have a video on that too, so check it out. All right, so the first thing we're doing is peeling these very ripe peaches. There are a couple ways that you can do this. You can just peel them this way, which honestly, especially because there are two of us, it's not a big deal. As I cut my finger off.
Oh my God.
You can also bring a pot of water to a rolling boil. And plop these in for just like a couple minutes and then throw them in an ice bath. And then they're really easy. You can just like peel them off with your finger. Julie and I were just talking about it, and sometimes we do this, but it's really important not to let the peaches go for very long because it kind of cooks them. And even though we're gonna bake them anyway, you don't want a really soggy peach. Like, I like the fruit to maintain some of its texture.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then we are just going to make little wedges, and you can just kind of pop them out with a paring knife.
These are very ripe.
They're so ripe. Whoa. This is a ginger pie, a peach ginger pie. And so we have some fresh ginger here, and I'm just cutting off the skin kind of haphazardly. It's not a big deal. We're using a microplane, but you could also just chop it up really finely. You just don't want a really big bite of fresh ginger, so like do the due diligence to really get it small.
Very fine.
We have 1 tablespoon. We have 1 tablespoon of tiny fresh ginger. So then we have a pinch of cayenne pepper
For just a little bit of heat.
and a pinch of ground nutmeg.
And a pinch of salt. I like to do a hearty pinch.
Like that?
Yeah, at least.
All right, I'm juicing a whole lemon. Also, this recipe doesn't call for sugar on the inside. It calls for 3/4 cup of tasty wildflower honey. What we're gonna do is heat it up over low for about 10 minutes so that it gets nice and runny, and that way it will just like stir in more freely. Kate also recommends adding the ginger to the honey, and that way it will scent the honey. We kind of forgot and just added it in to the mix, but I think that's fine. So then we're going to add the juice of half a lemon.
I have just a whole lemon because you said you were gonna put a whole lemon in there.
I'm gonna start with half and then add some if you need it. Great. Okay, so I've removed half of our dough, just 1 disc that's been in the refrigerator for about an hour. You can see our video on how to make the perfect pie dough.
It is perfect, so you should use it.
It is. Just gonna add a little bit of flour. And I'm just rolling it out and then picking it up every so often and putting a little flour down. There's nothing worse than when you roll the entire thing out and it's beautiful, and then you're like, oh, it's glued. It's all stuck. It's really stuck. And you want to work quickly because you want to keep the butter as cold as possible, because that is ultimately what is going to make those flaky layers. Woo! Woo!
And then, I'm gonna fold it in half again, so in quarters, into like a nice little triangle. And it's easy just to kind of plop this little shape into your dish and unfold it from there. So you're not trying to transfer like a huge sheet of dough. Perfect.
Then you want to put this back in the refrigerator while you prep everything else, because you just want to keep it as cold as possible.
All right, we're adding our honey.
The flavor of a ripe peach with really tasty honey and ginger. Ugh. Warming spices, so good. Yum. So you typically want to add whatever sugar component is last or next to last to the flour. As soon as anything sugary hits the fruit, it's just gonna extract all of the juices And so you don't want the juices to be pooling for a really long time because then you might have a higher chance of a soggy crust.
No one wants a soggy crust.
No.
All right. Now, we are going to add 5 to 6 tablespoons of flour, depending on kind of what our peaches are looking like once we start adding it in there.
5.
Let's mix up 5. She's going for 6.
Let's do it. Oh.
So, our crusts are ready, our filling is ready, our egg wash is ready.
Man.
We are going to assemble now.
Let's do it.
All right, so peaches are going in.
So you don't necessarily want all of the juice. We want to be choosy about it. So I'm just trying to drain them a little bit. And then we're going to dot it with about 2 tablespoons of butter. So I just cut up some cold butter. So the top one goes on. You can also do a lattice. We're just gonna plop it. Yeah, buddy.
All right, we're kind of sealing these 2 edges together, the 2 crusts, and folding them under. If there's big, long overhanging pieces, you can kind of trim those. But you want to have enough to make sure you can fold it over and have adequate crust. Well, it's a thick piece.
Yeah, you're kind of sealing it by just folding the top one over the bottom one and then pinching a little. That way, hopefully, you can contain the juices so that you don't have a small fire on the bottom of your oven.
Juice explosion. I've done that so many times.
I know.
Okay, and then, if you want to, crimp it.
You should.
Make it look really pretty.
Mhm.
I'm just taking these 2 fingers and this finger and doing that.
And then I'm just going to go over it with a little egg white wash. So I just separated the yolk from the white and then added a tiny splash of water and mixed it all together. This is just going to help it golden. So we're just going to cut a little steam vent, and you can just do like, I just do a little V in the middle, because then honestly it kind of ends up looking like a heart. It's sort of cute.
Cute. And then, last but not least, just a little bit of sugar in the raw, turbinado, to make it just look really beautiful and sparkly on top.
And to have that crunch when you're biting into it.
Most importantly. All right, she's going in the oven 425 for about 15 to 20 minutes until the top is like beautiful golden brown and starting to blister. And then we're gonna reduce the heat.
We just want to show you really quickly before my hands light on fire that this is nice and blistered and starting to get golden. And so now we are going to turn it down to 375 for about 35 to 45 minutes. Ah!
Oh my God, okay, put it away. Our pie is ready. Dad's taking it out.
Oh!
Oh, wow.
Oh!
It didn't even splooge over, so we did a good job of sealing all those edges.
The hardest part is just
Waiting.
waiting. Really, truly, it needs to cool for at least an hour, because that way when you cut into it, you just won't lose all the filling and it won't all smoosh together. I almost never make it that long, but we're gonna really try.
We're gonna try hard today.
Very.
Because it's the worst when you take out one slice and it just like fills in with all the juice.
Yes.
And then you're like, that is a waste of pie. Yeah. It smells like caramelized ginger.
Mmm. All right. See you in a couple hours.
Oh my God. We're cutting into our sweet, sweet peach pie right now.
I'm sure the lighting has drastically changed. It's been a couple hours. We've made watermelon cocktails.
We drank them.
See the video. On a rooftop. We made meatballs. They're in the oven. It is so hot in here.
We made our tomato sauce. See the video.
See the video. We actually do this in real life. And now we're going to cut into our pie so we can put this all away.
Whoa. Okay. First off, crispy, crunchy, flaky crust happening.
Someday we'll have the like zoom in cam, and this is the reason that you want that, obviously, because just take our word for it.
It's like so crunchy, buttery. It's like shattering when I cut through it.
Also, we should leave this a little bit longer,
But we can't wait.
but we can't wait.
We're also having dinner.
We're also trying to expedite the dinner situation. People are getting hungry, so we're gonna do this.
Oh my God, I can't wait!
You don't have any whipping cream or anything.
Oh,
Ooh, 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 ah, ah, oh, oh.
Wow. It tastes exactly like what you imagine the best peach pie you've ever had taste like.
The ginger
Mm-hmm.
is subtle, like it's kind of hits you on the front,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's just obviously like this overwhelmingly peach flavor and like the sweetness from the honey. Oh,
What I also love about it is that the honey doesn't make it overly sweet.
No.
I feel like peach pie, fruit pies in general, like
yeah,
can hit too far on the sweet side.
yeah.
This doesn't. This just like amplifies the natural sweetness of the peach, and then there's like the crunch saltiness from the crust. Another win.
Another win. Thanks, Kate Lebo.
Yeah. Wow.
Wow. God, we're gonna ruin our dinner. You don't care.
Oh.
Bye.
Bye.
I'm gonna go eat some meatballs now.
Mm-hmm.